Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be doing an all levels yoga class, and we'll get started in just a minute. So if you can find yourself somewhere to practice, maybe a yoga mat or just on the carpets, or a soft place, maybe get yourself in a comfortable seat, and we'll begin yoga practice in a few minutes. Hey, Christina. Okay, so find yourself a comfortable seat. I tend to put a blanket or pillow underneath my sit bones so that the pelvic bowl can kind of rock forward more instead of slouching back. So find yourself a position where you can sit up nice and tall. If you'd like to close the eyes, now you can, or you can just keep a soft gaze at the ground. Just finding a few moments here to check in with the body, the mind, the breath. Noticing where you're at today. So some of you may know, I recently moved to Colorado. So I'm coming to you live from Colorado tonight. So that's had me thinking a lot. I've been in transition for a couple weeks. So I've been thinking a lot about the concept of home. So for me, I found a lot of healing by finding home internally. So no matter where you go or what the external circumstances are, if we connect with our breath, using that to find this inner peace inside of us that is our soul, we can build this place, this foundation, this home. No matter the circumstances, we can bring that peace with us. So really just tapping into that breath, noticing the natural state of it moving through the body. See if we can move it a little bit more. So see if you can feel the breath starting at the very base of the spine. Maybe that's a little bit more abstract and you want to start just at the belly, feeling the breath rise and fall there. But see if you can start to move the breath from the base of the spine all the way up to the top of the head. Feel it move through the body, through the spine. As you inhale, taking all the breath in. Exhale, feel the breath move from the top of the head all the way down the spine, rooted into the earth. So continue to breathe like that. Inhaling from those sit bones, maybe just from the belly, moving up to the chest, to the collarbones. Keep breathing, taking in air all the way through the spine, up to the tippy top of the head. As you exhale, feel the breath move back down the spine, and as you do that, see if you can soften the body. Notice where you're gripping, scanning. Continue to breathe like that, inhaling from the bottom of the spine, up through the middle, feeling yourself gain length. And as you exhale, feeling yourself soften, maybe the face muscles, the jaw, the shoulders, the back, and finally feeling those sit bones rooted in the earth. Use that full, complete exhale to start a new inhale, breathing through the spine. Just tap into that natural sound of the breath, the rhythm it makes as it rises and falls. Keep breathing. We use this breath to fill and expand our bodies, our lungs, creating space inside of ourselves, creating home. do 2 more breaths like this. Full, complete inhale all the way up the length of the spine. And full, complete exhale. Last breath. Let it be full. Let it be slow. And as you finish the exhale, let all of the air leave the body. Let your eyes be soft, the cheeks relaxed, the shoulders soft, not gripping in the fingers, the toes. And let your sit bones be rooted. Use that grounding of the sit bones to find that length that you've created in the spine, reaching up nice and tall out of the crown of the head. Bring your hands to heart center. I'd like to begin class with one sound of Om. For me, Om is a sound of coming home. Just like my yoga practice, Om is the entire universe in one sound. We as humans have the entire universe in us. So really, whether you're joining in or just listening, notice how it feels in your body. Notice any vibrations or maybe lack thereof. Just really be an observer. Not attaching, not creating judgments, just simply observing how each posture, each sound, each movement, each breath makes you feel. Taking a deep breath in, filling your lungs with air. Then gently bring your hands down to your knees. You can relax the chin, the chest. And then softly allow the eyes to blink open. Just take in what's right in front of you. This present moment. And you can lift the gaze. And we'll continue to keep the hands on the knees. And as you breathe in, lift the chest forward. Kind of just do a slight arch in the back. Let the shoulder blades draw back. Maybe look up towards the ceiling if that's okay on your neck. And as you breathe out, bring the hands to the floor in front of you. Round the back, take the chin to the chest, and kind of just relax towards the ground. That'll be our movements back and forth. The inhale, you'll bring your hands to your knees. Lift the chest forward, sitting up tall, maybe looking up. As you exhale, bringing your chin to your chest. Hands come forward, round the back, relax towards the ground. Keep moving like this, back and forth. Inhale, rises you up, your hands are on your knees. Exhale, rounds the back, hands come to the floor. Keep moving at the pace of what is real for you. That is your breath. Let your breath be your ultimate guide. Wakening up the spine and connecting movement with breath. Let's do 2 more. This time as you exhale, your hands come forward. See if you can walk them forward even a little bit more. Relax the head down. Let your neck completely relax. And then just take a deep, full inhale here, filling your belly up with air. Deep, full exhale, letting it all go. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back to center. Lift the torso upright. Hands can come back to your knees. And then we'll just do some spinal movement. So start to bring your whole torso over to the right. Move it forward and then over to the left. Just doing a big circle with the spine and then even reach it all the way back. So that's the movement. Let's try and bring our breath into it. As we inhale, we come forward. Exhale, relax back and over to the right. Breathe in, come forward and to the left. Exhale, back and to the right. One more in this direction. Breathe in, forward and to the left. Breathe out, back and to the right. Then when you come all the way forward, we'll reverse the direction by coming over to the right and back. Breathe in to the left and forward. Maybe as you're doing this, notice any spots in the body that bring tension. Feel free to pause, maybe to the left if you notice that side body stretch that comes through. Maybe to the right or forward. Just notice any nooks and crannies in your body become familiar. One more like this. And then you can either do another one like that or just add in any organic movement that feels good. Maybe figure eights with the body. And then eventually just coming back to center. Take a moment, just in neutral position, to notice the body. The body, which is our home, one of our homes. We have our body, the earth, our soul. We get to take good care of all of these things. So come to our hands and knees, tabletop position. If you have anything you were sitting on, you can move it out of the way. And then take your knees together, your feet together. Let your feet be flat on the ground. And then take your seat back to the heels, sitting up nice and tall. Breathe in, reach your hands up overhead. As you breathe out, take your left hand across your body to your right knee. Bring your right hand back behind you. Switch forward so you can see. If this right hand, if you're like me and have short arms, sometimes I like to put a block or a book, just something as a prop so that my hands don't have to reach as far. Because if you notice, if I don't have this and I'm reaching back, I'm making this arch in my back. The point here is to have a nice tall spine. We don't want to be rounding forward or rounding back. We want a straight spine. So check in with that. If you need something to put under your hand, feel free to take a moment to grab that. The left hand can come outside of the right leg. You can either have the inner palm outside of the right leg, or if it's preferable to have the outer palm, the back side, you can do that too. Drawing the shoulder blades away from the ear. As you inhale, just like we did at the beginning, breathe in from the base of the spine, out the crown of the head, find length. Exhale, twist. See if you can maybe look over that back shoulder if that's okay on your neck. Each breath in, find a little bit more length. Each breath out, find a little bit more twist. Using your breath to create subtle movements in the body, to create space in the spine. One more breath here. As you breathe out, slowly untwist and come back to center. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, take both hands up overhead. Exhale, take the right hand across your body to the outer side of the left thigh. Take the left hand back behind you. Hand can either be on a block or on the floor, but notice what your spine does depending on where you put it. As you inhale, get tall from the base of the spine, out the crown of the head. Exhale, twist. Look over the shoulder behind you. Keep letting your breath guide you. Keep creating space within the body, within the mind. Space for the soul to reside. One more breath. As you breathe out, untwist and come back to center. And then come back forward into tabletop, hands and knees. And then curl the toes under. And come to sit back on the feet again. This is a big stretch on the ankles here, so if it's too much and you need to just come flat and seated, that's okay too. Just notice what's right for your body. I sometimes like to take my finger and use it to get that pinky toe to go flat too, or maybe even the toe next to it, so you can have all the toes flat on the ground. You can apply more or less pressure here, depending on what kind of stretch you want. Sitting up nice and tall. Take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers starting at the low back, and then walk the hands up to about mid-back. Draw the elbows closer together, and then reach the hands back behind you. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the heart, maybe look up. Keep drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears, creating space between the shoulders. See if you can draw the palms together or towards togetherness. So there's less space between the hands. Breathe here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then unhook the hands. Take your hands back in front of you to that tabletop position. Undo the feet, and then you can tap them out a little bit. Tap the feet on the ground. Let go of any of that tension that may have just built up with the stretch. Maybe do little circles with the ankles. One direction, the other. And when you're ready, just come to a neutral tabletop. So foundation here is the hands being directly underneath your shoulders, your knees being directly underneath your hips. Try and make sure that your feet are going flat behind you. The feet are going straight behind the knees, so they're not splaying out or splaying in. Really just take the time to sit up. And the hands are right under the shoulders. We're spreading our fingers wide. So almost like you're stretching all of the webbing in between the fingers. And then index fingers are coming to point forward. They tend to either draw too far in or too far out. We want them to be parallel with one another, like they're making 11s. So each index finger is pointing towards the top of the mat. Beautiful. Keep pressing that left hand into the mat. See if you can reach just the right arm up in front of you. Bicep by the ear. Plug the whole right arm back into that right shoulder. So you're actually pulling it back. And then notice your core here. Is it loose, or can you engage the core? So the belly button is drawing up towards the spine. You're kind of flexing your abs, nice strong belly muscles. Great. Either stay here and just focus on this balance. Having just 3 limbs on the ground in this position can be hard. Or try yourself with 2 by pressing the top of the right foot into the ground and reaching the left leg back behind you. Notice the bounce. Get a long line of energy from that back left foot all the way out the right fingertips. Keep engaging the core. That's going to help with balance. Keep pressing the left index finger, left thumb into the ground, almost like an L that you're making. Feel those palm pads pressing into the earth. Deep breath in here. Reach long with the leg and the arm. And as you breathe out, crunch the right elbow towards the left knee, coming in towards midline. Breathe in, get long again. Breathe out, crunch. Breathe in for length. Breathe out, crunch. One more here for length. Deep breath in. Reach with the hand and the leg. Either stay right here or bend that left leg. Take the right arm long beside you. Maybe you reach for the left foot. Maybe your hand comes to grab it. Maybe it does not. If you have the hand, kick the hand into the foot, foot into the hand, and lift the chest high. Draw the shoulder blades back. Breathe here. As we get into these weird positions, we tend to hold our breath. Instead, breathe and create space. Let the breath be home, a place that guides you. Place that you can come back to anytime you've lost it. Okay, gently release. Instead of just flinging, bring both limbs long and then back to the ground. If it feels nice, you can do a little figure eight with the body by taking the hips in a circle, maybe taking the arms in a circle, the shoulders. Just loosening out anything here. When you're ready, just come back to neutral. Pushing the right hand into the earth, lift the left arm. Bicep by the ear, and then plug that whole left arm back into the shoulder. Engage the core. Either stay right here, finding this balance by pushing that right index finger, right thumb into the ground, or reach the right leg back behind you. Feel a long line of energy from the right toes out the left fingertips. Deep breath in, engaging the core. And as you breathe out, crunch left elbow towards right knee. Breathe in for length again. Breathe out, crunch. Breathe in, get long. Breathe out, crunch. One more for length here. Deep breath in, reaching both limbs long. Either hang out just right here, keep focusing on the bounce, or bend your right knee. Take the left arm long beside the body. Maybe that left hand reaches back for the right foot. Maybe it comes to grab it. Maybe it's just tickling the foot or coming close. If you have the right leg, you can kick the foot into the hand into the foot in order to lift the heart up, lift the chest, and keep breathing. Slowly release by taking both limbs long again, coming out of the pose, just as much part of yoga, and then both limbs back on the ground. And then come to a child's pose by taking your knees wide, your feet together, bringing the seat back towards the heels. Let the top of the forehead, the space between the eyebrows come to the ground. Relax the head. Reach the arms out long in front of you. Relax here. And breathe. Let this be a place where you can ground on the earth. A place to reconnect with your breath. Come back to that feeling, that sensation of the belly rising, filling with air, just like a balloon. Inflates, and then as you breathe out, let the balloon inside of your lungs, inside of your belly, deflates. Breathe in, fill up with air. Breathe out, let all of the air go. Noticing how good it feels to come into a resting pose like this, to come back towards yourself after getting into more uncomfortable or different postures. Just like in life, life's going to hand us the twists, the turns, uncomfortable situations, or things that we have to confront. We can rely on our breath to get through them, and then we always have a space to come back to. When we do our work and find the peace inside of ourselves, it's more easy to navigate these situations. Take one more full breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly push back up to hands and knees. Tabletop position, taking your time. So the hands can start off underneath the shoulders, but then take them about one step forward. So they're a little bit in front of the shoulders. The knees are under the hips, and there's space between the knees, just like there's space between the hips. Curl the toes under. Lift your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. The heels can be coming towards the ground, but they don't need to be touching. You can feel that big hamstring stretch here. As you breathe in, rock forward so that the shoulders are over the wrists for plank pose. Notice if you need to take a little bit longer of a stance, keep that stance as you push your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Again, so that long stance that we take in plank pose is actually kind of the blueprint for downward dog. So a lot of times it's a little bit longer of a stance than what we would guess. Spread those fingers wide. Keep pressing those L of the hands, so the index finger and thumbs, into the ground. Drawing the shoulder blades out, relaxing the chest down, lifting the hips up. Maybe keeping that slight bend in the knees to protect the hamstring. You can bend into one knee, straighten the other. Feel the stretch on the straight leg. And switch, kind of walking the dog out, pausing in any spot that feels good and sending it more breath, more space, giving your body what it needs. Okay, and then lift the right leg back behind you so that the right leg is parallel with the earth. Deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, step the right leg all the way in between the hands. Maybe that takes a few shimmies to get there, but you want that long stance so that the right leg is coming forward. And then ground the whole left foot on the ground, on the earth. So instead of the left heel being up, bring the left heel down. Shimmy the right foot over so that the right heel bisects the back inner arch. Okay, stay where you are, but I'm going to do a switcheroo so you can see me. Okay, so right heel's back, bisecting the back inner arch. Keep bending into the right knee over the right ankle. And then as you breathe in, cartwheel the hand. So the left hand comes behind you, right hand comes in front. So we're in a warrior two pose. Look at your right foot. You want to be able to see the right toes. If you can't see your right toes, take a little bit longer of a stance. Just shimmy your right foot forward more. Hands are long out beside you. Hips are square with the long edge of your mat. So the hips aren't facing forward, but instead facing to this that side. Gaze can be over the right fingertips. Deep breath in here, reaching out long between both fingers. Keep bending into the right knee. Keep drawing the tailbone under. So instead of like perking that booty out back, see if you can draw it under. Keep pressing down with the left outer edge of the left foot, lifting the left arch. And breathe here. Strong warrior. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring both hands to the ground to frame the right foot. So right hand to the right side, left hand to the left side. And then you can come up on the back left toes. And then step the left foot forward just a little bit, about a step or two. You can either step on the fingertips or come down to the palms. Push the right big toe into the ground. Feel the foundation come here. And we're just going to start to do little taps with the left foot. So feel the core engage because this is some balance work. Keep pushing into the right foot. Maybe rock a little bit further forward into the right big toe. And then see if you can tap the left foot off the ground. It doesn't have to come far at all. Just engage the core and see what that feels like in the body. So as you breathe in, lift the left foot up. Breathe out, lower it down. Breathe in, lift the left foot. Breathe out, lower. Let's do two more. Breathe in, lift. Maybe a little higher this time. Breathe out, lower. And this last time we'll hold. Breathe in, lift. Either low or high. Engaging that core. Maybe you come up on the fingertips to get a little more length in the spine. As you breathe out, lower the left foot down again. Hands come back to frame that right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Find 3 big breaths here, filling the belly with air as you breathe in, like going of all the air as you breathe out. Use this pose as a resting pose. A little space to come back. The bottom of that final exhale, lift the left leg back behind you, parallel with the earth. Breathe out to take the left foot in between the hands, taking your time to get there, setting up nice, and then ground the whole right foot onto the ground, onto the earth. Shimmy the left heel over so that the left heel bisects with the right arch. Ground into the outer edge of the right foot to lift the right arch up. Push down with the left big toe, and then cartwheel the hands up so that the right hand is going back. Left hand is coming forward into our warrior two position. Check in with the hips that they're facing. So feel those hip bones right there. Almost like there was headlights on the hip bones, and they're both facing towards the long edge of the mats. Bend deeply into that front knee so that the left knee is over the left ankle. If you can't see the left toes, just shimmy the left toes forward a little bit more until you can. Reach out long with both fingertips, but soften the shoulders. Soften your gaze. Relax your jaw. Breathe. Strong, fierce warrior. Maybe think about a reason that you are a warrior in your life. Maybe you're passionate or persistent. Maybe you're loving. Strong-willed, determined. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, we'll cartwheel the hands down so that both hands frame that left foot. And then step the right foot in just a little bit and come onto the right toes. And then we'll do toe taps on this side. So pushing down deeply into that left big toe, engaging the core. Come up very light on the right toe. So sometimes I start to do that by just rocking forward, so I'm almost on the top of that right toe. And then lift the right foot back behind you. Breathe in, breathe out, lower. It can be just a teeny little lift. Breathe in, lifts. Breathe out, lower. Breathe in, lift. Maybe a teeny bit more. Breathe out, lower. 2 more here. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. And this time we'll hold wherever a good spot to hold is for you. So maybe that's staying low. Maybe that's coming higher so that the right leg is more parallel in line with the right hip. Maybe you come up onto the fingertips so you can find some extension in your spine. Hi, plant. Deep breath in here. As you breathe out, bring the right foot back to the ground. Plant the hands. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Come down into child's pose. This time you can bring your knees together, feet together. Bring the forehead to the earth. And maybe try taking your hands back behind you instead of in front this time. Notice if this version of child's pose feels any different than the first one we did. And connect with your breath. Another chance to come back, to take inventory, to notice how that movement made the body feel, made the mind feel, made the soul feel. Take the time to slow the breathing. Nice long inhale, long exhale. And if you're ready, you can start to shimmy forward, coming onto your belly. The legs go long behind you. And then bring your forearms down to the ground. So you want your your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then the forearms going straight out in front of you. So it's like your forearms, your hands are making the number 11. Lots of 11s today. So instead of having them out wide, you want them in close, so underneath the chest. And then lifting the chest forward, drawing the shoulder blades back and away from the ears. Keep pulling the heart forward. This is Sphinx pose. Keep rooting the hips into the ground, tucking the tailbone under, drawing the shoulders back. Maybe look up, only if that's okay for your neck. And be okay with the understanding that it might not be okay with your neck. And if it's not, take that information and choose to make a better choice for your body, your home. Okay, and then as we breathe in, we're going to bend the right knee so that the right foot is lifting up towards the ceiling, and look over our right shoulder. See if you can see the right foot. That's all on an inhale. As you exhale, the right foot will come down and you'll look forward. Inhale, left foot lifts, look over the left shoulder at the left foot. All an inhale, and as you exhale, left foot comes down, look forward. Okay, so we'll go back and forth like that. Breathe in, look over, shoulder at the right foot's lifting. Breathe out, look forward. Breathe in, left foot lifts, look over the shoulder. Breathe out, lower, look forward. Keep going back and forth with your own breath. Using this time to really slow down. Really get connected. Let's do one more on both sides. So when the next time you do your left, let that be your last. And then both legs go back behind you. And then take your hands together. The elbows can come out wide, almost like you're making a little pillow for your head. You can put your forehead down just right in between your hands. And let yourself relax for a second. Feel the belly push against the earth on the inhale. And draw away from the earth on the exhale. And then bend both knees, so the feet are coming back behind you. Reach your arms back behind you as well. Lift the chest. Draw the shoulder blades back. Lift the chest more. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back. Keep lifting the chest. Keep bringing the hands back towards the feet. Maybe your hands can touch your feet. Maybe they can even grab a hold of the whole feet. As you inhale, lift the chest up, draw the shoulder blades back, kick the foot into the hands, and keep rising up. Maybe the tops of the legs draw off the ground. If you don't have your feet, you can still do this action, or you're just lifting the feet back behind you, pulling the hands back. Deep breath in, lift a little higher, and as you breathe out, lower all the way to the ground. Let your hands relax beside you. Let your cheek fall to the ground, just one cheek. Breathe. Again, noticing how good it feels to just lay flat after putting that effort into the body. Being grateful to this body. Flip your cheek so the opposite cheek is now on the ground. And then bend your knees so that your feet are up again. And then we'll start to windshield wipe the legs so that your feet go over to the right side. And then breathe in, feet come up. Breathe out, feet go to the left side. Inhale up. Exhale to the side. Just moving them back and forth with your breath here. This is really good for the low back and kind of releasing any tension. Okay, and then next time you've done your left, you can come back to center again, and then let both legs go back behind you. And then we'll turn onto our backs. So take your time to get there, no rush. Twisting over onto the backs. Okay, and then bend your right knee, interlace your fingers behind your right leg, your right thigh, and then bring your right leg towards straight, so reaching up toward the ceiling. Our hamstrings might be pretty tight, so it doesn't actually need to be straight, but just that direction. Left leg can go long on the mat. Deep breath in, reaching the right foot up towards the ceiling, maybe using the hands to kind of pull the right leg back a little bit so you have more stretch in the right hamstring. Breathe here. And then bend the right knee. Interlace the fingers now in front of the right leg, so onto the right shin. Pull the right leg in towards the body, to the outside of the right ribs, and then take the left hand on top of the right knee. Bring the right knee up and over the body to the left side. Open the chest up to the right side. Your right hand can either be in a cactus or it can come out into the T, but I do not have room for that. Breathe in, find length in the spine, just like we did in the twist in the beginning. So from the base of the spine out the crown of the head, feel the breath move through the body. Breathe out, twist. Maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder. Keep relying on your breath to find a little bit more space in the body. Inhale for length, exhale for twist, even if it's just a micro twist. And then slowly untwist. Bring the knee back to center. You can give it a nice little hug into the body again. And then take the right leg long. Bring the left leg up. Interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Bring the left leg towards straight so the left foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. I like to flex the left foot here, or I guess technically flexing the left ankle so the left toes come back towards the face. Push up with the foot, deep breath in. Maybe as you exhale, you can use your hands to pull the left leg a little closer to the body. And by a little, it does not have to be much, just whatever your body is okay with. Breathing here. And then bend the left knee. Interlace your fingers now in front of the left shin. Pull the left leg to the outer edge of the left ribs. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring the right hand to the left knee and bring the knee up and over to the body to the right side. Open the chest, the torso up to the left. So really getting a big twist in the body. The leg is going to the right, but our body, our chest, our torso is going to the left. The left hand can be a cactus or a T, which I have room for on this side. Your gaze can either be straight up or it can follow the left shoulder, the left hand over to the left side. Notice what's best on your neck. Breathing here. And slowly untwist. Take your hips back to center. Hug that left knee in towards the body. And then maybe bring the right knee to meet it, giving both legs a squeeze. Maybe rocking side to side. Massaging the low back, the hips. And then take the knees wide. Bring the feet over top of the knees. Take your hands to maybe grab for the shins. Maybe it's just right over above the knees. Maybe it's up towards the ankles more. Maybe you can reach even more and grab the outer or even the inner edge of the feet. If you have the feet, kick the feet into the hands. Pull the hands down on the feet so that you're giving a little bit of pressure onto the hips there. Try to keep the lower back more grounded. Might lift off a little bit, but have the intention of bringing it towards the ground. You can find stillness here, or you can rock side to side. You can also play around with maybe bending one knee more, straightening one leg more. Playing with the body here, seeing what feels good, getting any final movements out of the body. Maybe you straighten both legs up towards the ceiling or maybe even behind the head a little bit. And eventually bringing the knees back down, drawing the knees into the chest. You can give it another squeeze. And then we'll bring the hands onto the knees. As we breathe in, we're going to push the hands away, push the hands and the knees away. As we breathe out, use the hands to pull the knees back closer to the chest. Breathe in, you push away. Breathe out, you come back in. So we're going to continue to do this, but we're going to do a little breath work with it. So the inhale will be for maybe a count of 4, and the exhale will be double the length, maybe a count of 8. If that feels strained or not doable or accessible at all, just lower the count. So maybe inhaling for a count of 3 and exhaling for double the length, the count of 6. You could also do 2 and 4, inhaling for a count of 2, exhaling for a count of 4, as long as the exhale is just double the length of the inhale. So I'll lead from an inhale of 4, but change it however you'd like. Breathe in, pushing the knees away, pushing the hands away for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, bring them back in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in, pushing away. You might notice that your exhale has to be timed a little bit slower. So you really have to be intentional about letting the air out nice and slow. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going with your breath. Having our exhale be double the length of the inhale is very calming to the body. It's relaxing, tells our body it's more time for rest, peace, assimilation. Keep counting in your head, following the breath. Do 2 more. After you finish the second exhale, just gently take the legs long on the mat, opening the feet up wide, space for the hips, the feet, the legs to just open. Let the arms be long beside the body. Let the palms come to face up, and feel your body just heavy, rooted on the earth. Start to just observe the breath, starting with at the nostrils. Notice the breath move in and out of the nose. Maybe counting the breaths to 10. We put our bodies into these difficult shapes, postures, positions to practice relying on our breath to get comfortable. Whole point of yoga is simply for this position here, Shavasana, settling. Move through these postures so that we can simply rest and be. So it can be easier to just reside in ourself. Wherever you're at in your count, now shift the focus to your belly. Rising and falling of the belly. Start to count the breaths, just watching the breathing. and the count, you can gently release that. Allow the body to just be heavy on the earth. Allow the face muscles to relax. The eyes to be heavy in the sockets. The shoulders soften with each exhale. The arms, the legs get heavier, more connected with the earth. Loosen the grip on every finger, every toe. Allow your body to be heavy, supported, held. Shavasana. Coming back to the breath, gentle rise and fall of the belly. And back to your body, resting on the ground. Maybe gently wiggling the fingers, the toes. If it feels right, you can do a big stretch overhead, wakening the body. Taking your time, and when you're ready, bending the knees, coming to the right side, fetal position, and pausing here. Taking a breath, using the strength of the arms, press your palms into the earth, make your way up to a seated position, just as we started. Sitting up nice and tall. Keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Keeping the shoulders soft, the face relaxed. And start to follow the breath here. So you breathe in, thinking the word so. And as you breathe out, thinking the word hum. Each time your breath moves in, again, repeat that word silently, so. Each time your breath moves out, repeat the word silently, hum. So, hum. The natural sound of the breath. And in Sanskrit, this, which is the language of yoga, this translates to I am that I am. When we find home within ourselves, all else is okay. The external situations can sway and move, and still internally our home is not shaken. Please bring your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. The lights, the love, and all that is special and unique in me honors that same lights, that same love, and that which is special in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me today. If you have questions, comments, feedback, feel free to reach out. You can message me on Instagram at FlowingWithGratitude. Send me an email, flowingwithgratitude@gmail.com. I'd love to connect, and let me know if there's any other way that I can support you. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, wherever you're